Around 65 million years ago, an asteroid was roughly 6 miles. 66 million years ago, dinosaurs had the ultimate bad day. With a devastating asteroid impact, a reign that had lasted 180 million years was abruptly ended. In 1980, Nobel Prize-winning physicist Luis Walter Alvarez and his geologist son Walter published a theory that a historic layer of iridium-rich clay was caused by a large asteroid colliding with Earth. The instantaneous devastation in the immediate vicinity and the widespread secondary effects of an asteroid impact was considered to be why the dinosaurs died out so suddenly. Asteroids are large, rocky bodies that orbit the Sun. They range from a few to hundreds of meters in diameter. Any fragment of an asteroid that survives landing on Earth becomes known as a meteorite. The Alvarez hypothesis was initially controversial, but it is now the most widely accepted theory for mass extinction at the end of the Mesozoic era. Paul says, an asteroid impact is supported by really good evidence because we've identified the crater. It's now largely buried on the seafloor off the coast of Mexico. It is the same age as the extinction of the non-bird dinosaurs, which can be tracked in the rock record all around the world. The impact site, known as the Chicxulub crater, is centered on the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. The asteroid is thought to have been between 10 and 15 kilometers wide, but the velocity of its collision caused the creation of a much larger crater, 150 kilometers in diameter, the second largest crater on the planet. The dinosaur-killing crash threw huge amounts of debris into the air and caused massive tidal waves to wash over parts of the American continents. There is also evidence of substantial fires from that point in history. For a long time, it was thought that the non-bird dinosaurs died out 65 million years ago. But Paul explains, the dating of those layers of clay around the world is very accurate. It's estimated to within a couple of thousands of years. Recent redating has refined it, and the date of the dinosaur extinction is 66 million years ago. What caused global mass extinctions? Around 75% of Earth's animals, including dinosaurs, suddenly died out at the same point in time. So how was it all caused by a rock hurtling into the coast of Central America? Paul explains, the asteroid hit at high velocity and effectively vaporized. It made a huge crater, so in the immediate area, there was total devastation. A huge blast wave and heat wave went out and it threw vast amounts of material up into the atmosphere. It sent soot traveling all around the world. It didn't completely block out the sun, but it reduced the amount of light that reached the Earth's surface. So, it had an impact on plant growth. The truth behind the demise of the dinosaurs may never be fully resolved, but a growing body of evidence has convinced many scientists that at least one of the culprits was a 7-mile-wide asteroid that hit Earth 65 million years ago, near what is now the Yucatan Peninsula. Exploding on impact, the monster rock produced a crater more than 180 miles wide, continent-drowning tsunamis, and winds far more powerful than any hurricane. In addition, dust kicked up by the explosion would have completely darkened daytime skies for months, devastating plant and animal life across the globe. The prime piece of evidence supporting the theory is a thin layer of 65 million-year-old iridium-rich clay found in dozens of locations across the globe. Iridium is extremely rare on Earth but common in meteorites. Furthermore, other rock samples from that era indicate exposure to extreme heat and pressure, as would occur in an asteroid impact. And there is that enormous 65 million-year-old crater in Mexico. Still, the argument is far from over. Many paleontologists point out that the dinosaurs, and many other life forms, were already dying out before the massive extinctions 65 million years ago. Global temperatures and sea levels had been dropping for millions of years. The larger animal life of the time must have been feeling the effects. The rock layers from that era also show evidence of extensive volcanic activity, which could account for a deadly worldwide dust cloud as well as elevated iridium levels. So, We may never know what killed the dinosaurs, but research into the possibility that an asteroid caused such a major extinction event has at least opened our eyes to the real threat of such an impact, and that puts us one up on the dinosaurs. According to abundant geological evidence, an asteroid roughly 10 kilometers across hit Earth about 65 million years ago. This impact made a huge explosion and a crater about 180 kilometers across. Debris from the explosion was thrown into the atmosphere, severely altering the climate and leading to the extinction of roughly 3/4 of species that existed at that time, including the dinosaurs. Many asteroids of this type are now known. Their orbits pass through the inner solar system and cross Earth's orbit. Some of these could potentially hit Earth in the future. Most, but not all, are smaller than the one that hit us 65 million years ago. What happened during the impact? Asteroids hit Earth typically at high speeds of 16 to 32 kilometers per second. During the impact, the kinetic energy in the asteroid is converted to explosive energy, blowing debris of dust, soil, and rocks not only into the atmosphere but out into space, where it fell back into the top of the atmosphere. Early calculations in the 1980s, using in part ideas worked out by Carl Sagan and his colleagues, showed that so much dust entered the high atmosphere that the Earth was shrouded in a dust layer that blocked sunlight for several weeks or months. This would have killed some plants, disrupting the food chain. That was how asteroids killed dinosaurs 65 million years ago. Please do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel, Explified.